All right, welcome back. Welcome back, guys, to the Conviction Fiction, the podcast where we break down life after incarceration, one story, one conversation, one step at a time. I'm your host, Antoine Rivers, and today, as we gear up for a new year, right? We're getting up for a new year. This when people usually make their New Year's resolution and stuff. We're going to dive into a topic that's all about self-reflection and growth. The new year's here. I mean, it's here. I mean, we got only a few hours before the new year, and with it comes the perfect moment to pause, look at where we've been, and most importantly, recognize what we truly need to move forward. Right, where we need to truly need to move forward. Now, we're not just talking about resolutions today. We're going a little bit deeper. We're going to break down what it means to identify and prioritize your needs in a way that fuels your journey, your dreams, and your successes. So, and to help us unpack this all, we've got a very special guest joining us today. All right. So, with that being said, Eric McDaniels is no stranger to the conviction fiction. He's a powerful voice in the fight against stigma, a regular contributor to the podcast, and someone who has spoken extensively about the challenges of overcoming trauma and finding purpose after incarceration, from navigating PTSD to understanding the power of self awareness. Eric just brings that real, no nonsense perspective. All right. So, Eric, we're honored to have you back, bro. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
All right, awesome, man. So I think like the last time we talked out, the last you missed the holiday episode. You missed that one. That was a pretty good one, bro. I think you missed that one, but it's all good. We're here, because this is going to be a good one. This is really going to be a good one because this is a subject matter that we have talked about over the time. So, again, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You want to give us a little breakdown of what that means, bro?
Yeah, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is like a baseline. It gives a point of reference. It's a pyramid. It deals with the physiological part in our growth, dealing with our basic elements of needs. Also, the next part is safety, protection, and belonging, esteem, and self actualization. What it does for me when I was really reading it was it gave me a point of reference to kind of just going into the new year. I agree. I don't really get off into resolutions. What I get into is New Year's revelations. I kind of look back and over the past year and see what 24 has brought before me, some of the good times, the bad times, the opportunities to grow and take that into 25. And looking at Maslow's hierarchy, like I said, it's just a good baseline for self growth, give us a point of direction to really deal with the man in the mirror and make sure we tighten our screws up to be the best version of ourselves in the future.
All right, yeah, I agree, bro. And let's go ahead and break down for those listeners that don't know what Maslow's hierarchy needs is. You know what I'm saying? Like the first one is the physiological needs, like it's basic survival. All right, so
Right.
these are the essential needs like food, water, shelter, and sleep. Without meeting those needs, it's impossible. It's literally impossible to focus on anything else. If you ain't got no food, if you ain't got no water, if you ain't got nowhere to like sleep your head, it's impossible to focus on any other goals that you have.
Right. Right. Even bigger than that, if a person does have those things but don't utilize those things in a proper way for their physiological needs, it can affect everything.
Yeah.
Not just a homeless person, but just making sure we, eating right, making sure we drinking right, making sure we tighten the screws up within our house and our home and getting a place of stability. So those things have a great impact on our physiological needs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what this show is about because we need to understand that, many individuals, because this is what the conviction fiction is about, but our show kind of transcends just motherfuckers just getting out of prison. And I say that
Right.
in the kindest terms. it transcends that. But people getting out of prison, that people struggle with meeting basic needs. I know when I first got home,
Mhm.
I didn't know where I was gonna get it from. Luckily, my mom and my dad was kind of still around, you know what I mean, and they provided like basic needs like water, you know, food, you know what I'm saying. But they gave me like a window to not even worry about that part of it. But a lot of the
Right.
brothers getting out, a lot of people out there like living just regular. They don't have access to like the food, water, shelter, and just getting a good night's sleep. I think people don't even recognize how important that is because without any of these physiological needs, any of these needs, if you don't have enough food, water, shelter, or sleep, you can never focus on anything else, right?
Right.
It's impossible to focus on higher goals if you don't have those basic things, right? So
Understand.
recognizing and addressing those needs is the foundation for rebuilding or making a stable life. You got to like lock them down first, right? You can't think about chasing dreams when you're worried about your next meal. You can't think about like chasing dreams if you're worried about a place to sleep. You can't worry about like chasing dreams when you don't have the basics. So you got to start with securing the basics. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know if that have to if that means like if like for me, I was fortunate, bro. I had my mom, like I said, my mom, and she's still around. She had a little bout with like a little illness today. Just turned 68. Just turned 68 on my mom just turned 68 on December 24th, Christmas Eve. How could I forget that? She just turned 68. Shout out to my mom. But like she had a little thing, but when I got home, bro, my thing was I need to have food. I need to have water. I got out, bro. I had like a little knapsack. You got out of prison. You know how it go. You have whatever you have in your bag, and I did like what 14, 15, 14 and a half. So I ain't really know what I was stepping into, but I was fortunate. But a lot of guys are not, as fortunate to have somewhere to go unless they go to like a halfway house or a transition center or somebody that can sponsor them. Which brings up to our safety needs because the safety needs, they basically focus on creating a sense of safety, including financial security, physical safety, and health. Can you tell me a little bit about the safety needs, bro? How did you feel safe? That's a basic
Yeah.
need.
Well, pretty much like your situation when I got out, my family was there. That was a blessing. You right, a lot of people are, and some get out. But what I like about what our discussion is, when you get out, the world is out here moving 100 miles an hour, and to secure your physiological and your safety needs off the top, like I said, kind of give you a point of direction to be able to have a baseline to be able to elevate. Um, yeah, safety needs, not just uh, a place to stay, not being in a bad environment. Don't put yourself around the wrong crowd that might put you at risk of getting back incarcerated. Getting yourself in a place around people that's moving in a positive direction. So all of those things are essential. And
Mm-hmm.
when you really talk about Maslow's hierarchy, it moves upward. And so securing every process step from the physiological to the safety
Because you
needs
need
is really,
money. You're gonna
I
need
needed
money.
money. Listen here. Not only did I need money, man, I was thankful to have a place to stay. I was thankful to be able to, to have others bless me with money when I got out. Those were things that I'm totally grateful for. I know some get out and have to go to halfway houses or stay in hotels or just find their way. So in my situation, man, I was really blessed because family really stood up. But I
Right.
can see, I can see the need for how all these things play for upward movement, man. You get out, you see everybody with the cars, the money, the things that you desire, without sometimes having a greater understanding that, I got to be patient. I got to secure these things, and securing these needs will help
Yeah.
prepare me to be able to move forward
And
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 not
that's
put
what
myself at
for me, that's what the basic message of level 2 is. Once you got the food, you got the shelter, you got the water, you know what I'm saying? You got like you can take care of you can get a good night's rest, right? The second
Right.
part, man, is that safety part, bro. Because once those basics are covered, the next step is stability, bro. Like once you have stability, whether that's a steady job, a savings plan, or just mental health support, just like a place where you like, okay, this is what I got. I ain't gonna worry about the food because I know I'm gonna eat. I ain't gonna worry about the water. I know I'm gonna be able to sleep. I'm able to get that. I need to feel safe and secure in like where I am. You know what I'm saying? I need to
Right.
this is the platform for everything else. Once you got that basic, like you say, well, okay, I'm safe where I'm at. You know, because if you start worrying about food or worry about water again, then that just throw y'all way out. You cannot achieve higher goals if you don't feel
Right.
stability, bro. If you don't feel like you
Right.
stable, you know, I don't know if it's gonna be through the church, whether it's gonna be like through some woman you meet. Hopefully it's your life partner. Like I met my life partner. I met mine. She my best friend. I'm terrible though. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. but I get that stability from her. So once you get those safety needs, then you start feeling the love and belonging. Because humans need meaningful relationships, bro. Whether it's through family, friends, or a supportive community. Feeling accepted and valued is critical. If you don't feel like you love, bro, guess what you gonna have? You gonna have let me. I'm zoom in real quick. You gonna say, I really don't give a bleep.
Right.
You when you don't feel like nobody love you or you don't care, you gonna say, I don't really give a bleep. Because guess what? Don't nobody care about me. Don't nobody care about me. So I'm gonna start making decisions that's really gonna be bonehead. I mean, not productive decisions. Correct? Help me out.
Yeah. You when you don't feel love, man, especially coming out of environment of incarceration, it was a real mental process for me. After doing 7 years and getting out and just trying to get back acclimated into society, uh, that belonging around family members. There was a lot of mental things I had to deal with. You know, that belonging part. You coming out of trauma, you coming out of a dark, you sleeping in a bed the size of a casket. You in a place where really it's just you, and to get back into society and to try to get back in the flow of things, having a healthy family, or either a healthy church or a healthy community center, somewhere you can go to get back acclimated size is so
But most
important
folks,
because, like
bro,
you,
like I appreciate your take on that, but most individuals, they end up feeling isolated, like you said. They feel rejected by society, and they ain't really got to. You ain't got to really be locked up to do that. You can feel isolated. You can feel rejected by society or disconnected from loved ones just being out here. You can just feel that.
right,
So rebuilding those relationships or finding new supportive communities is vital. Now, I'm asking you because I know you are the PTSD guru. We've labeled you that. I don't know if you know that, but like the post stress traumatic syndrome, you are that guy, right? You talk about this. This is something that you grow on. So,
well, I like to address it because it's coming out of incarceration, a lot of people deal with post-traumatic stress disorder.
mhm.
I know I dealt with it from, like I said, getting back into society, that isolation, having to deal with coming into a new environment, having to deal with, you the shiny new object. When you come out, and you know having to deal with, even in relationships, being affectionate, opening up to people, having healthy conversations, and a lot of that, you have to deal with having understanding that this environment I come out of, I got to get my self-esteem back up, which is also part of Maslow's hierarchy, which is a great part of it.
The perfect
Because your
segue.
self-esteem low, if you're
Mhm,
not if you're not in a good place mentally, and
mhm.
it's a process that one has to go through.
Yeah, that's level 4. That's the perfect segue because level 4 is those esteem needs, like being confident, Now, this level of my Maslow's hierarchy needs is based on, building the self-esteem, the confidence, and the respect from others. It's about feeling accomplished and value. When you start making those changes, when you're handling business, so to speak, you need to be able to feel like you handling business. And this is one of the toughest ones for me because even though I've been, doing stuff around um, the city and within my community, even within my family, I do a lot of stuff. Sometimes, like my confidence be low, bro. I'm like, dang, I'm doing all of this, but I don't feel like I'm being recognized because that's that self esteem. I be wanting to hear, that like, okay, you know, um, need that pat on the back, and so that's where like going through the mentorship programs that I've been through. Sometimes you just got to be able to pat yourself on the back. You got to find yourself in a place where you can say to you, like, hey, I'm doing a good job. You know what I mean? You don't need to hear it from somebody else. You got to be able to congratulate yourself. Now if you ain't not doing the right thing or doing whatever, of course, I mean, you don't want to like promote foolishness. But at the same time, if you are staying the path, because only you can know that path that you are on. If you're going through the hierarchy of needs and you're trying to figure it out and you're trying to get it, right? If you start taking care of those basic needs and then start taking care of some of those psychological needs or some of those safety needs, if you're doing all that stuff, it's the time for you to recognize that, hey, I'm working through it. I'm starting to see the benefits of it, and your confidence should shoot out the roof.
Right, right. One of the things about the process of the ones that we just covered, you know, you're progressing, you're moving forward. You feel good about yourself. You got a place to stay. You're eating right. Um, for our safety, you're not hanging around the same situations that might put you at risk in getting incarcerated. You getting out in the community doing things. So, I can see how the STEAM will be the next level because once you
Mhm.
start progressing, you'll start feeling better about yourself.
Yep.
You know, I
That's the
agree. They
message.
ain't throwing no, they're not throwing a ticker tape parade because I'm out here trying to do the right thing. Look here,
Right.
sometimes I had to celebrate myself. And
Mm-hmm.
that was a
Yeah,
good
because
point you
everyone,
brought out.
I think everyone deserves to feel respected and valued, bro. Everyone.
True.
Now you got to celebrate your small wins, no matter how small they are. I celebrate small wins, bro. Like when I first got home, I celebrated the small stuff, like just being able. I mean, I was on food stamp. I had food stamp when I was able to get food stamp. And the reason why I got food stamps is because like I'm staying with my folks, like my mom and my dad. They pretty much fixed income. They don't need no extra stuff. They
Right.
can't stand no extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I got food stamps. And then I celebrated because I was able to say, hey, look, here go a food stamp card. Whatever y'all need, just get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just here, just use it card. If I want some, I'll get it. I don't want much. I mean, man, I just came up on soups and chips. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
don't need a lot.
Right.
I really
Zoom,
don't.
zoom, wham, wham.
Yeah, I don't need a lot. You know what I'm saying? So anything extra, hey, give me them flavored chips, so I can, what I'm saying, make my little burrito right. I was very simple. You know what I mean? And so that was an accomplishment for me. And then like building your skills. I jumped straight into school. I think we had this conversation um in one of the other podcasts. I started building my skills, and that's what the thing you have to do. You have to celebrate your wins, even though they may be small. You got to celebrate them, build your skills, and then show the world that you more than who they thought you were.
Right. But all that you're talking about, and all that we're talking about tonight, is a great conversation to be had. Like I said, because it gives you a direction to go and it's going to be beneficial to us. Yeah, I celebrate the small wins too. I jumped in school, maybe got out October, January. I was in school, uh,
Mhm.
but you have to, Scripture tells us that despise not humble beginnings. I know where I was far worse. So yeah, to get back in the workforce gave me a little confidence. Getting back in school gave me some confidence. Uh, But I tell everybody, resilience plays a big part in this, and a
Yeah.
desire to, a desire to move forward. There has to be some real conviction, uh, and one really has to have a goal. We
Oh
talking about
man, I just
Maslow.
got to talking about that last night, man. I was talking about that with my little a family, my cousin actually. He kind of sitting in. He should be working the boards, but we was talking about conviction is like that rock bottom. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You gotta know like enough is enough.
Um,
You
right.
know what I'm
I ain't
saying?
trying to go back.
I ain't trying to go that way. I ain't period.
Right.
And so that's great that you brought up conviction. So you want to expound on that?
Yeah. When I got out, I knew a part of me really wanted to hit the ground running, but another part let me know that, hey, you got to pace yourself. And so what I did, I wrote out a goal: get stable in the workforce, get some money, and get transportation. I think about the first 2 months I didn't have transportation, but I knew that if I stayed patient and saved me some money and put myself in a position to obtain one, uh, but it didn't always start out like that. I had to walk to work before, you know.
Right.
I had to depend on people taking me to work. But I
Yeah.
knew all of that was far greater than me being incarcerated.
Yeah.
So whatever that conviction is that part of you that really understands that everything is really contingent upon you making better decisions and doing what you got to do to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could have took the easy way out. That was really around me. I had people offer opportunities, deals. Hey, I'm trying to get you on your feet. Yeah, I had turned down one guy here. He said, "What type of niggas you don't want no money?" But that guy's incarcerated now. Uh,
That's
so
great.
that conviction allows you to be able to really understand. I ain't trying to go back, and I need to make all the necessary steps to kind of move forward. Regardless, standing themselves, dealing with prison, somebody telling you what to do, everything that come along with prison, should be enough to be a conviction to say, hey, you know what? Whatever I got to face out here, I'm gonna face out here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
do what I got to do.
I was on a podcast like the same podcast a couple of weeks ago, and there was a dude that had been like 2 to 3 times like in. He really didn't care. He finally found like where his purpose was, but it took him like 3 times, bro. 3 times to go
Well,
through.
everybody got a bottom,
Everybody got a bottom. You don't know what that bottom is. Like I'm
right?
just gonna say personally, my like I know, and she never been to prison or like that. But my sister, bro, her bottom, I think she got locked up for some like I think a traffic ticket or might have been a like she might have had too much on the scale of like alcohol, like a DUI or something. That was enough for her to say, bro, that's not the life I want to live. You know what I'm saying? But like
Right,
for us, some of us, man, like we become so hardened. Because I had been in jail before I got locked up, before I went to prison, like did time. I had been in jail. Like I spent like man, I went to juvie hall. You know what I'm saying? I've been to juvie hall and everything. You know what I'm saying? But that was not enough for me. That wasn't enough.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And now here it is. I'm gonna say it personally. I'm gonna go personal because like when it comes to like my well, I got a brother and it hards my heart, bro, because he got me like health issues or whatnot. And him being in and out, he ain't really did no hard time, but at the same time, like he's been dealing with some issues, and he's still kind of living like a rough life. You know what I'm saying? So it's for me, it's like, damn, bro, how you going when you gonna find your bottom? He done had like a mild heart attack. He on meds. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he worried about like his physical needs, like food, water. He'll call me and like, hey, bro, I need like this to go get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, bro, like that health scare was not enough. He didn't even see his bottom, bro. You know what I'm saying? It bothers me because I'm like, you came from the same place where I came from, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? You don't think it's enough right now that you can start taking care of your basic stuff. Because once you take care of that basic stuff, then you could probably start chasing your goals and doing other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Right.
even with the health scare, the man had like a heart attack, bro. Like a mild little heart attack. They had to do surgery and then cut him open there. And he younger than me. He younger than me. And it really, like, for me, this was probably like the hardest level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs for me, because once I found out about him, bro, it's like my confidence was shook. I'm like, it don't even matter. I started getting outside of myself. I started getting outside of myself and saying, like, it don't matter what I do. Like, I still care about him, and he should be able to, do better. You know what I mean? And I was like, it don't matter what I do, because I started feeling like it was selfish. Now, was there ever point in your time, which level was the hardest for you, bro? Which level? When you talking about the needs, like which was the hardest?
I think the belonging and the love.
Oh, you couldn't
Like I
feel
told you,
love.
well, it wasn't so much feel love, man. Doing all that time, I become numb. I still had some things I had to work out between me and God. It was not rage. It was not, it was insecure. Having seen how a lot of times me working hard to be unprofitable in my life led me to be in the place and in the situation that I was in. Yeah, I was glad to
Mm-hmm.
be out, but that was a struggle, and that was a fighting, a going back, not to prison, but to some of the lifestyles I had before. So that was a place where I had to really, and school really provided me an outlet, man. I worked a job where I worked 10 hours a day. I would get off and drive from Decatur to Birmingham and go to school and come back. So that kind of put me on a good trajectory as far as not having a lot of time out. So I kind of like really just my schedule was really really busy, so that kind of helped me out. But
Mm-hmm.
even being a Christian, there was still some things I had to get and forgive myself and uh, forgive others. And um, one of my biggest things was being handled and having to start over.
Mm-hmm.
And in that process, a lot of times, man, the Bible said that a man's enemy sometimes come from his own household. So it wasn't that anybody hated me or mistreated me. It was just that the direction that I was trying to go, everybody may not be trying to go in that direction. And
Mm-hmm.
so that belonging allowed me to isolate myself into some places and take on a real independence. And that caused another set of problems, because we all need family. We all need to, have healthy relationships, or even get in relationships with the females. uh, I had to start with new socks and new drawers. I ain't had time for no play. And I love me some. I'm 100% man. So
Love it. I
but at
love
the, but look here. But at the
it.
same time, though,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand that
Yeah,
if I
for
wasn't
real. Like,
bringing
how
you,
you gonna bring some or try to get some from somebody like that? You ain't got socks to draw.
right. That's what I'm
You know what I'm
saying.
saying? Like, come on, man.
You
I'm
know,
not even handling my
I don't,
business. So
I
how
don't
am
want to feel inferior. So I knew I had to get myself in a healthy place before I could allow them to smile in my face. You understand what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to feel, I ain't never lived it in my life before. And so having to start all over, those things that belong is, but as time went on and I started moving forward and accruing opportunities and things, I started feeling better about myself. And so once I started feeling better about myself, man, but like I say, mentally, that was a lot of things I had to really deal with coming out that really didn't have so much to do with prison, just having to start all over and keep my, stay true to my goals that I wrote down.
Listen, the ripple effect. It basically refers to how one action or event can create that chain reaction of consequences. And that's what I was just talking about. Like when you come out like a hierarchy of needs, if you don't have a good place where you coming from, then your actions can, it's similar to a pebble being dropped in the water, right? It causes waves to spread outwardly. Now, in the context of community dynamics, it's both powerful, like either positively or negative, right? Now, let's talk about the positive effects. So, if it's like on some empowerment stuff, if I were to make positive changes like pursuing my education, starting a business, or giving back, it can inspire others to do the same, right? People around
Right.
me, like through my kindness or mentorship, I can strengthen community bonds. People looking at me, they're like, you can make it through. um, I become a role model. I become a success
Right.
story for those people that are going through the same challenges or the adversity that I'm going through. Right? I can basically change the stereotype and shift the whole community. Like, we in a bad place, but you can be a shining light. You can change the dynamic. Right? Now, with the ripple effect, there also can be those cycles of harm. Like it's just throwing that pebble, but it's a different type of pebble. If I throw a pebble to go positive to, further my education or to start a community organization or start mentoring, I can throw a pebble that can be harmful, such as like being violent or substance abuse or selling drugs, or I can perpetuate cycles of trauma and instability. Like, so when those barriers are there, the entire community can suffer because I'm not contributing, bro. I'm making it worse. I'm
Right.
making it work with a negative pebble. You know what I'm saying? Now people start not trusting me. It make it harder for communities to unite and support each other. But my question about the whole ripple effect is like every action, no matter how small we think it is, bro, it has a ripple effect. And this is something we talked about earlier today. Before we even started on the podcast, we had the conversation. What was that this morning? Like we
Yesterday.
want to talk about yesterday. We want to talk about the ripple effect by choosing to invest in personal growth, giving back, and support others. We can create positive ways, right? And especially for people that been there, like me and you been there. But you ain't got to even been there to create a positive way. Now
Right.
we got
I
to
mean,
break those cycles of negativity and stop harmful ripples before they spread further. So I know we was talking about the ripple effect earlier, man. I just went. You should have heard the first time when I was talking. You should have heard
yeah,
what I
I
was.
saw you going in, bro.
What?
Look here, you was going
What?
in. I
I
saw the
was, man.
conviction in your
You saw
face.
my face? Oh man, I
Yeah.
was so dead serious. I was so dead serious. But that's in a nutshell, man. With the ripple effect, it's like we can, and that's coming from the hierarchy of needs. Basically, we're gonna build on that. So we have those five needs that everybody has, right? Without those needs, we can create a negative ripple, right? And I know we don't think a lot of times like what we do or the decisions that we make can make a difference, but they do. Either
They
you
really
going,
do.
yeah, for real. Cause here's the thing: like if you grew up in the hood, right? You grew up in the hood, right? And you decide to sell more drugs, or you decide to do more violence. You just a product of a ripple. Somebody else done been did it. You just riding the wave. Because that's what's
Well,
normal. That's what's
you
accepted. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
because we see the hood, all the way from the drug dealers getting hit by the jackals taking the money to the strip club, making it rain, the strippers getting the money up off the floor, taking it to the pimp going back to the drug dealer to buy more drug to give to the prostitutes. Listen there, that ripple effect from a hood mentality, we see it all the time. But everything you were discussing before goes with the top of the pyramid, that self-actualization, how I perceive myself, how I'm I can answer my why. That ripple effect can go both ways. In the negative, what is your why?
Why you
You
do the
talking about
things you do, bro? Why do you
why
do
do
the
you
things you
do the things you do? Look, if I'm a writer, why you not writing? If I'm a singer, why I'm not singing? If I'm a mentor, why am I not mentoring? All of it. Because at the end of the day, everybody has an excuse, but everybody has the same 24 hours, the same 60 minutes. Look here, everybody has the same time. And so in your why not you? Or why would I reduce myself when I have opportunities just like everybody else to make a positive change? So, everybody has to really ask themselves why. Going into the new year, I have to ask myself why. Have I reached my full potential? Far from it. Am I better than I was? Sure. But every aspect in this Maslow hierarchy, I'm out here in the free world. I haven't been incarcerated in years, but I still have to make sure the simple things. Am I drinking enough water? Am I eating the right foods? Going on to belongingness of love. Am I really connecting with other people? Am I functioning well in the community? Are my social skills up to par to help pull me? Going to the STEAM levels. How do I feel about myself today? Am I answering my why? Uh, you know, in how I move forward uh, in dealing with the self-actualization? Am I seeking to be a better version of myself? Am I taking my inventory to say, look, is there a kink in my armor today? Is my crown tilted to the left or tilted to the right? What I need to do to be a better version of myself. So, all these things are not just for people incarcerated. They for us out here every day. We just looking at tomorrow as being the first day of a year, so we get a kind of a fresh start. But it is something to really consider. What is your why? Yeah, man, getting out, having to deal with the new beginnings, having to deal with the stigmas, having to deal with checking the box when you go for a job. All those things are there. But when I search into my why, why am I here today? I didn't hear it no before. I'm gonna keep going. They're gonna be a yes. Some people say you got to get 33 no's till you get a yes. Well, I'm marking one off and going to number two and up the ladder to get where I need to go, because it's all in our why. So Maslow's hierarchy gives us a baseline, but it's all dependent on our whys. Because at
Yep.
the same time, everybody got the same 24 hours in a day, and everybody can make an excuse. But when we get to our whys, that tells us where we're at in life.
I agree, man. I agree, and that's what I wanted to like talk about, even with like the ripple effect, because it's important. I hope you can hear me because I'm about to go in again.
I hear you.
I'm
Go
about to
on, go
go in
back in,
again,
bro.
bro. I'm about to go in
Go on,
again
get
because um there are examples of a positive ripple effect. Like, so say for instance, right? Somebody that been locked up, you know what I'm saying? We gonna just say his name, Monte, right? He started a mentoring program for at-risk youth in his neighborhood. What he started to do after turning his life around, he using his story to inspire young people to avoid the same mistakes he did. He established a program to teach life skills, creative writing, and goal setting. Maybe even how to write movies or something. You know what I'm saying? The immediate impact just from those little bitty actions, a group of teens joined the program, and instead of goddamn going out there breaking the law, they gain confidence and learn practical skills to stay off the street. Right? Local
right,
businesses start seeing what Monte doing and offer him money. They offer him resources to support his program. Right? Now, here go the family impact. Right? So the parents of those teens that go on and mess around with Monte program, they start feeling hopeful. They were like, man, these children growing. They becoming more involved with their own lives. You know what I'm saying? They start to take better care of themselves. They start influence the other kids around them to make better choices. Like, man, you don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it broadens the program's impact. Now, as the program grows, this from that one pebble that Monte threw out there, it creates jobs for mentors, counselors, because other people want to get involved. You got teachers, local economic stability, because his success has now inspired others in the community to start similar programs or seek positive change, fostering a culture of empowerment. Now, over the long term, many of those teens that Monte helped grow up to become leaders, mentors, and professionals, they continue that cycle of positive influence. The community starts seeing the decrease in crime rates because these teenagers ain't doing no stupid stuff no more. You know what I'm saying? They want
right,
to just go hang out with Monte. And this also provides increased opportunities for them. So the decision of mentor youth can create a lasting ripple effect. This is the positive side now, because I got one for the negative, but it can touch families or it touch peers, it touch like businesses because they start supporting you and the broader community. This single act of leadership can lead to widespread and generational change. Now, in my last thing, I was telling you like I was going in because like a lot of folks don't think they can make that difference because they are part of the ripple. They in the ripple part. They ain't even throw the pebble. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even throw the negative pebble. They just riding the wave of what else been going on in the community. You know what I'm saying? Because it's crime, because it's this, or it might be in family or generational. Because this what's been happening. I'm just gonna ride the wave and keep doing the same thing, right? I ain't even gonna create my own ripple. I'm just gonna ride the wave. You know, I'm gonna make the wave stronger. You know what I'm saying? And that's like one of the most devastating parts for me. Is like when I got home, I said to myself, man, I can create. I'm a pebble. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pebble, and I can create a positive change for real. I can. You know what I'm saying? I figure I can make a difference. I could have rode the wave of like here's the thing. I ain't never had no bad wave. People will tell you, bro. Like, you know, my folks, they work very hard to make sure I had a good life, bro. But I decided to be that negative pebble. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever been like, you know, I decided to be a negative pebble. I just want to be the little badass too. I'm like, man, what y'all doing that ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying? Not even realizing that there were people out there just riding the wave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
You know,
um,
it's easy.
yeah, it's easy to ride the wave, bro. All right, so I'm before I get into the negative, I just want to ask you one thing, bro. All right, so what uh what are some of the strategies that you use in order to, you know, keep growing, moving forward? What are some of the strategies you use?
I'm a big person on goals, man. They kind of help keep me grounded. When I find myself really kind of off target, I go and I try to do a weekly goal or monthly goal to have something to try to attain and kind of get my focus back on track. So I'm one of them people that kind of really like to set goals for itself.
Okay.
Um,
So no matter how small, it could be a weekly goal. It could be a daily
hey,
goal.
man, it could be
Start
some
small.
small as it's some small as hey, you getting to work on time. Hey, simple things, making sure everything I need to be successful to start my day off in the morning. Simple things like that. Uh,
Yeah.
they kind of they kind of help me out. Or if I'm not reading enough, or I'm a reader, so if I'm reading too much, take some time to divert my attention to something to kind of relax my mind. So
Mm.
I kind of cause easily get distracted by reading too many books. So I have to try to setting goals really works for me. It might not work for others, but for me, it kind of really give me a
Yeah.
point of reference to kind of look
Okay.
to.
All right. So going to that negative part of it, because that's the ripple effect. If you read every day, that's something positive because you're gonna make a change somewhere in your life. If you set a goal by the day, some people, man, don't even get up and I don't know, like at some point I was that guy. I didn't get up and brush my teeth every morning. I didn't. You know what I mean? And that's a goal. That should be something that I should be doing. You know what I'm saying? If I want to keep my teeth, but
Right.
that's like, setting small goals or, by the week. If I just say to myself, I'm gonna take every week, I'm gonna take some time out to, you know, not necessarily reflect on my life, but do something to achieve one of my dreams. If whether that's the business, I'm gonna do one thing to help me build this business. You know what I'm saying? It might take me a year or 3 years to build that business. But if I take one day out the week to say I'm gonna do this to build this business, right? That's the thing. So let's talk about the negative.
ripple effect, right? So here's a scenario, right? We got a young dude, say Jamal. I don't know. We're just gonna pick a name out of there. He committed robbery. And then this all during a moment of desperation, which sets off a chain reaction of negative consequences for himself and his community. The same ripple effect. Now, since he was struggling with unemployment and feeling hopeless, Jamal robs us a local convenience store. He get arrested afterwards, right? The immediate impact is that now he facing life in jail, further limiting his opportunities to rebuild his life when he gets out. Now, the victim, the clerk, she gonna experience or he gonna experience trauma and fear. They not gonna trust like little black boys that look like Jamal, right? When they come in the stores, you be like, oh, he just like Jamal. He finna rob me or shoot me or whatever. Now the community, crime gonna heighten in the neighborhood because the reputation for the neighborhood is it's unsafe. It's gonna discourage people to say, hey, look, we can't build a store over there. You know, we can't invest no money over there or support anything over there because you're gonna lose, right? Now we're gonna talk about Jamal family because like it placed them in financial and emotional strain. They struggle to try to make ends meet and they feel stigmatized by the community, like because they got little robbing ass Jamal, right? Younger kids in the neighborhood may see Jamal acts his action as a viable way. Well, Jamal went and go do it. Like if you poor or you frustrated, let's go ahead and just do harmful behavior. Matter of fact, let's not rob the convenience store. We're gonna rob the dude down the street that got dope. We're gonna rob him. Somebody that looked like me that's trying to get a way out too. But we ain't gonna do it like Jamal. We're gonna do it this way. Now, now the store owner that whoever owns the store, you know, they gonna, you know, get security cameras and they might even consider relocating. They don't want to put nobody in because their insurance went up because somebody under their care got hurt because they were just trying to work. Like they just want to ring up your hot Cheeto, you know what I'm saying, or whatever you buy. Right. So it's gonna the store owner, whoever it might be, like, man, we need to get up out of here, right? Because insurance is killing me. I'm a liability. Now, long term, what's gonna happen? The increased crime rates because his arrest leaves a gap in the family's income. It means they end up being broke, right? Other members, neighbors in the community, those kids that don't have a program or something to think they could look forward to, they're gonna start to do similar crimes, whether it's like um selling dope or robbing folks or pulling scams. They gonna do whatever they need to do. So you got a whole community that's like focused on crime now. Now his incarceration, they go back to Jamal because he locked up now, and he may face discrimination when he try to get back into society. Right? He got a criminal record now, and he's gonna perpetuate that cycle. Fear and distrust grows amongst the neighbor. He's gonna weaken the sense of unity and collaboration because don't nobody want to work with nobody because all them little teenagers get where they ain't nothing about trouble. Them little teenagers, they ain't nothing about trouble. Ain't no need talking to them. All these young folks, they ain't nothing about trouble. So that one act of desperation, it can have a cascading effect, causing harm to not only Jamal's life, but his family and the community at large. Now, breaking cycles like this requires intervention, support systems, and opportunities to address the root cause of the issue. Like the root cause of the issue is like people just don't. People don't. People don't know who they are, bro. People don't know who they are, bro. They don't. They don't recognize the impact that they can have on a community or on somebody else's life. They don't even recognize the impact that they have on their own life. How much control they got over their own life. And I think that's the root cause because like in our community, especially black communities, and I ain't gonna say black community because that's kind of a racist, but like for the most part, um, in impoverished communities or whatnot, bro, people don't think they don't got no way out. They start becoming that ripple instead of becoming a positive pebble for change. What you think?
I agree. I agree. Even more the ripple effect for those that get out of prison from being incarcerated can have a ripple effect. You go out here and do something crazy, it affect the parole board for those that made parole and shut down those that's going up for parole or set everybody off. It's a lot of different ways because every action has a reaction. We just have to determine if I want my reaction to be something moving forward or something going back. Jamal's story, you hit on it good, but think about it. Jamal set himself in a place because when you get incarcerated, it's more than just you; it's your family members also.
Right.
You put stress, financial stress on them, emotional stress. They love one locked up, and the worst thing for any mother to go through is to lose a son or see one in prison. So all of these things have the ripple effect. I like the way you broke down the positive and the negative, but everybody has to really take that into account. If I and deal with their why. If why would I do this? This right here gonna take me back. That was one of the things that I had to really make amends with myself because
I
I
think that's
saw
the key point, bro. I really want you to like expound on that why. Like, are you when you say why, are you talking about like why you do the things you do, or what are we talking about with the why? Because like I think it's
well,
important for people to understand the why.
well, my why really resonated with me when I got out, having to start over. I had a chance to, you know, look at myself and see how a lot of my actions I was partaking in were not profitable. So I said, you know what? I don't have any more do-overs. I'm getting out, start new socks, new drawers, new beginning. I got to make everything count. So making everything count was my why. You know, having to start over and see everybody else moving forward. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
getting a little bit
like
deeper, bro,
them.
because I love the subject what you're talking about right now because it
All right,
resonates with me.
will you tell me about my why? My why is why I get up and do what I do. Why I want to move forward. I owed it to myself. I've been through hell. I've been through the triple stages of darkness and being incarcerated. My why was the decisions that I was going to make to not want to go back. Decision I was going to make to not bring any more harm on my family. My why was not to want to leave my daughter again and be a positive influence and a force in her life to prepare her to move forward. My why was to show others that not only I was a changed person, but I was a better person. My why included all of that, but it's just not then; it's still today. My why kind of really dictates, you know, uh, why am I getting up in the morning? Why am I seeking to move forward? Why am I trying to grow? I can put more pressure on myself than anybody because of my why, but that pressure is a good thing today because that was a time in my life when I didn't put pressure. I was part of that ripple you talked about. You know, in the hood, we call them Me Too fools. Somebody doing something, hey, me too. Just riding that wave of being unprofitable. My why today, uh, you know, as being an ex-felon, an ex-convict, or a person who's out of prison, even being partaking in this conviction fiction to change the narrative, a big part of that is my why. I want to give hope and inspiration to others to know that yes, you can make it. Yes, you can be resilient. Yes, there are opportunities. Um, Even in this country, I served in the military and been to other countries. We complain about a lot, but this is one of the only places that you can have nothing in 30 days and have something. I've been to some places in 3 years you might not have nothing. A big part of that why is, making use of my resources. You talked about getting food stamps. That was part of your why. It made you feel good to bring something to the table, you know, being in that place. So, a lot of the things about my why is about moving forward, but inspiring hope for others to let them know the same opportunities I have, they have, and to create greater opportunities. The outreach program, we had a job training. I can't move back here and start a job training called Jobs for Life to inspire others. And a lot of things we were dealing with was dealing with the why. Why is it that you feel like you can't get a job? We dealt with ex-felons. Well, why does this really hinder you from saying, I just want to give up? Why? opportunities are there. So we have to, really deal with character issues. And those were things that I had to deal with in answering my why. I had to start thinking different. I had to put myself in the company of those that were going some places I wanted to do.
Yeah.
That was
That's
a
one
guy
of the things I had to do, bro. That's
who
one of the
really,
things I had to
I had a student who really was fond of animals, loved animals. So we said, hey, let's just write a veterinarian and let him know about your passions about working with animals. You don't have any skills or anything, but you a volunteer, 4 to 12 hours a week to come in and work for free just to learn the trade about grooming dogs or helping out in the veterinarian clinic. The opportunities are there, but they got to be in your why. And a part of that why too is finding out your purpose. What are the things that you like? We live in a world of possibilities. We can make excuses to say what I don't want to do or what everybody else is doing. And that puts me into that mind frame that everybody got the same 24 hours. Listen, look here, what you do in them 24 hours will determine your why. What you do in those 7 days a week will determine your why. Yeah, you can create the narrative, but you owe it to yourself. If somebody had to deal with child call and count time and
do.
showers and
Ooh, Lord.
everything else he dealt with, that ought to be a motivator, to
It
allow you,
motivated me. I'm just gonna tell
no
you.
doubt. I'm saying to be able to create a new narrative. And one thing about moving forward is we was talking about dealing with all these basic needs and things and feeling better about yourself. It pushes you to be able to think different, and it also gives you an eraser to create a new narrative. Yeah, ex-felon was maybe part of my bio, but there are a lot of other things that I could have included by dealing with that why and moving forward. Uh, a lot of people deal with the 80-20 rule. You talk about 80% of the problem or 20% of the solution. I like to really push the solution. They say 85% of people deal with recidivism. I want to know what the 15% people do.
I need to be in that group.
Look, but not that you in that group, but my point is that has to do with your why. Why would you focus on the ones that's coming back? Why not focus on the ones that's still out here?
Okay,
And what are they
that's a
doing?
good point. Let me take. I was just like, because that was really powerful right there, bro. Like, why would I focus on like not being able to make it or failing when everybody
Because it
else failing?
requires you to make no effort.
Right. Why don't I focus on the folks that actually make it? You know what I'm saying? I need to be focused on the old folks. That's the why. Like, I need to be on that side. Like, okay, I know where I'm from. I know it don't look good. Maybe I might not have, I might not have the education. Right? Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go get the education. You know what I'm saying? I might not have the support. Guess what? I'm gonna seek those people that gonna support me. I might not have like the I don't know, even the means. Guess what? I'm gonna go find somebody that's gonna help me get the means. You know what I'm saying? That's what I focused on when I got home, bro. I might not have it all. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come from it all. I had a good foundation. But at the same time, I was like, okay, where I'm lacking, this is what I'm gonna go seek out. And it kind of came full circle. And I met people along the way, include yourself, which man, bro, you know how I feel about you, my dog. I appreciate you. I really do
You inspire
appreciate
me
you,
too,
man.
brother. You
I
inspire me
appreciate
too.
you. I appreciate you, man. Because a lot of folks didn't think we shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff. Like, we shouldn't be like at home, like, wherever you at and wherever I'm at. We shouldn't be doing this, bro. We're supposed to be like struggling. We really supposed to, and I'm not saying like it's been easy, because it has not. And it
Right.
won't be easy. But it's very important that we keep moving in the right direction. Now, I know we started late, but as we step into this new year, man, it's important to remember that growth isn't about just reaching the top of the pyramid. It's about understanding where you are, what you need, and how your choices affect the world around you. Meeting your own needs isn't selfish, bro. It's the foundation of and sis, because we know we have some female listeners. It's the foundation for creating a better life for yourself and others. Um, I want to thank Eric McDaniel again, because every step forward, like he said, no matter how small, is going to send a message to the people watching you. That's it's possible. It's possible. If you're just trying to survive or reaching your dreams, remember this: the work you're doing matters. If you want to get up every day and have a conscious choice to have a goal, it's okay. You should go ahead and try to reach that goal for that day or for that week or like for that year. Set those goals. It depends on you. And it's going to depend on you because the ripple effect is real. And you have the power to decide what kind of ways you want to create in 2025. All right. So take the time to reflect on what you truly need. Be honest with yourself. And don't be afraid to ask for help or take that first step because small actions lead to big changes tomorrow. No matter where you are on this journey, know this: you're not alone. There's a community of people who've been there, who struggled, and who've risen above it. If you can do it, so can you. All right. So I want to thank you for joining. Thank you, Eric, again for joining on this conversation, man. Big shout out, man. Big shout out for sharing your wisdom, which you always do, bro. You always do that. Make this year
Glad to do it.
of growth, connection, and purpose. So until next time, I want everyone to stay focused, stay strong, and keep writing your own story. Again, thanks for joining the Conviction Fiction podcast, and we'll see you guys next week. Stay on, Eric. Oh, you know I got to talk to you after this. You know we got to chop it up. All right, then we're going to
No
stop.
doubt.
All right.